he's working. I never thought I'd see the day, Hutch, that you'd be faster than me. You know what I mean? Little buddy just can't make it.
He's excited right now, I can tell.
Yeah, he's ecstatic.
Well, I thought what we would do is just spend a little bit of time talking, letting people hear some answers to maybe some questions I had and some others that people have thought of, and just talk a little bit about your career and some of the things that maybe I picked up anyways and others picked up playing for you, and let you just talk a little bit about that. I know you've got a lot more you're going to talk about later on, but we thought this would be kind of special for the group in here to maybe pick up a few other things that maybe others didn't know. I guess the first thing I was going to ask you, Coach, is, why sports? I mean, why did you get into coaching? Was there someone or somebody, something that led you into coaching initially? When did you kind of decide that was what you wanted to do?
Well, I wanted to go into nuclear physics, but they didn't offer that at my high school in Nebraska. District 10 didn't have it either, our country school. The reason I went into athletics was I hated being on the farm. And the only time I had any fun was at baseball practice, and you couldn't play basketball until you got into high school. I broke my ankle playing football. Our coach, in his infinite wisdom, put analgesic balm on it so it'd puff up and get a blood clot, so I couldn't play basketball that whole freshman year. I was in a cast and working with one of the student teachers who was a great coach. He ended up being in the junior college Hall of Fame. And I just had coaches that I liked that, and you just liked it. It's something to do that was fun, and I knew I wasn't tough enough or smart enough to be a farmer, so I went to college and ended up getting lucky in coaching.
Now, you played baseball in college. Some people may not know that, but you actually were a very good pitcher in baseball in college. And so I might have thought you would have gone that direction. How'd you go towards basketball then?
Well, the reason I couldn't go in baseball was because the umpires would have to call the game at about the 6th inning because my pitches were so slow. It was extending the game. And I was 22-2 in college and couldn't get drafted, so I got an idea then maybe I didn't throw hard enough. And I kept trying to think I could play professional baseball, but I never could. And then I coached as a head baseball coach at a really bad job for 2 years, was assistant basketball at a worse job. And my college coach got me in the University of Utah as a graduate assistant for a doctoral program. And then I knew then that all the good baseball jobs would be filled before they were ever opened. So I just decided to go to basketball. And I thought in baseball you can hustle all you want, but if you got some guy that weighs 200 pounds or 300 pounds and he's throwing BBs and waddling off the mound, you can hustle all you want, you're not going to win. But in basketball, if you got somebody like that, you can at least work hard enough to make him pay a price if he's going to waddle around out there. So just sort of gravitated to basketball that way.
Then you moved to Hamlin University, I guess, after that, and were there for a couple years. And then how did you find out about Lipscomb? I mean, what was kind of the connection?
We went to the Roseville Church of Christ, and Steve Brannon was a FBI agent. He's a big negotiator for the FBI. He's in Birmingham now, and he's been in Birmingham for a long time, but he was good friends with Wayne Craig, and he found out about the job and let me know. I went to a bookstore and got a copy of Coach Dugan's baseball book and looked at it, and that's all I really knew about Lipscomb. And then I came down to interview. My wife bought me a brand new pair of shoes, a leisure coat.
Nice.
And new pants.
So
I come to interview for the job. I don't have a tie, and President Poyas was sort of big on ties. So I'm interviewing without a tie in a leisure coat. And I look down and my feet are bleeding because the shoes are so tight, they're cutting my heels. Then I look down and the zipper on the pants has popped wide open. I must have done a heck of a job interviewing, you know what I mean? Or there were a lot of perverts interviewing me, I don't know which,
Couldn't go anywhere but up after that.
Brother Collins, bless him, he probably didn't even see it.
Well, Don.
Let's praise God, and Buddy Arnold will lead us in singing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, talk about the early days here, because as Al McGuire famously talks about seashells and balloons, it wasn't all seashells and balloons early on here, I don't think.
Yeah, the first year I was here, I was the best player we had, and that scared me an awful lot. I interviewed for the job and I never saw the gym until after I'd signed the contract. I never even looked at the gym. Came in, looked at that. I remember sleeping up in the dorm and knowing it was a Christian school. Woke up in the morning, looked out my window and looked down, and there's every cigarette butt in the world on top of the roof below me. So evidently some gypsies had been up there smoking the night before.
That's a real problem back
then.
And
then we bought a house, and I just laid in bed at night thinking, how are we ever going to pay for this thing? It's the first house we ever owned, and it's on Brookmead Drive, and we raised our kids there for the most part, and it was a great neighborhood. And then I could walk to school, run to school. Jerry'd walk to school and then run home because there was a black dog over in the ghetto. They'd chase him. People don't even remember the ghetto anymore, but that's where all the married students lived.
That's right.
It was a heck of a place, but that black dog, he was pretty fast. Jerry got quicker.
I bet. What were some of the most, I guess, early on everybody faces discouraging times in certain jobs or in certain coaching jobs or professional jobs? When was kind of the low point, and then when did you kind of feel like, okay, we're making progress here?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you ever feel like you've made progress. I mean, you're always thinking you've got so much more to do. I remember, I think our first or second year, we were playing Indiana Southeast, and they were the only team that we actually thought we had better players than. And they were in a zone, and we couldn't score. We didn't have anybody who could really shoot. And, Billy Bennett would disagree with that, but, we weren't making shots against the zone, so we just held the ball.
Right.
And they didn't come out.
Right.
So we kept holding the ball.
This was at Lipscomb.
It was there was no shot clock at that time. There was one shot clock, and it was like 20 minutes for one session and 20 for the other. And then we kept holding the ball, and finally some students sprinted out of the gym. I didn't know what they were doing. They came back from the dorm with a beach ball. So they decided they'd hold the ball too. So they're passing the ball up there just like we are. And just when the team decides to go to a man-to-man and we're going to attack them, we turn the ball over and we lose the game. So that was a high point, I thought, in what we did.